played last weekend. The Wallabies went into this game with a pretty impressive record. Although they were held to a shock draw by San Isidro in their opening match of the tour, they then piled on some 40 tries in the next 5 games, 5 very convincing wins, and certainly they were in buoyant spirits for the first international at Buenos Aires. The Pumas certainly can't be underestimated at home. Last year they beat France 15-13 in the first international, and the year before held the All Blacks to a draw. And I suppose any side that can beat the Springboks in South Africa is a formidable opponent. They did that back in 1982 when they won the second test 21-12 after losing the first by 51-18. Let's have a look at the lineups then. Firstly, the Australian side, and first cap for winger Ian Williams. He really has had a dominating tour with 7 tries. Liner switching to his Grand Slam position at inside centre. Brian Smith in for halfback Nick Farr-Jones, who had a medial knee strain. A first cap for Steve Lidbury, displacing Steve Tyman. A very solid Australian tight 5. Frawley joining Cutler in the second row, and Harthill in for McIntyre. 11 from New South Wales, 4 from Queensland. The Argentinian lineup, a very experienced outfit, and a lot of very old faces there too. Rafael Madero at fullback. He played against the Wallabies back in 1979 on the last Argentinian tour, as did Lofreda in the centres, and of course Porter at 5'8". The forward pack, plenty of tall timber there, but a real shock in the recall of Alejandro Iachetti in the second row. The Iachetti brothers played against the Wallabies in 1979, and between them weighed some 39 stones. It'll be interesting to see just how much he's carrying in this match this afternoon. Diego Cash played hooker against Australia last year. He's moved to prop, and Serafin Dengra played for the West Club in Brisbane last year. OK, let's now go to the Velez Sarsfield Stadium. Oppressively hot conditions, the temperature somewhere over 30 degrees, and a crowd of around 30,000. As is the custom for international matches these days, a neutral referee, Mr. Keith Lawrence from New Zealand. And so it's Michael Liner, the Australian vice-captain, to start proceedings here at Buenos Aires. Plenty of atmosphere here at the Velez Sarsfield Stadium. And this is the great Hugo Porta. Well, there were suggestions he was going to retire after the World Cup, but I think few Australians expected that to take place. He'd dearly love to go out on a winning note in his final Test series here on home soil. Andrew Leeds, his first touch. And that's a fine reply by the Australian fullback, taking play 10 metres into Argentinian territory. Frawley jumping at number 2, Cutler at 3, and Lidbury tapping that one back. This is Smith. Australia under pressure, and it looks as though the referee's playing advantage here. No advantage Australia's way, and he's going to put a scrum down. Now I think he's signifying a knock forward there by Argentina, tapping the man's hand. Brian Smith, that's the halfway line. Long cast by Liner, and this is Ian Williams now with Madero in front, and look at the speed of Williams. Oh, what a great start for Australia. Sensational try. Ian Williams, in his Test debut, has scored after only 4 minutes of play. And look at the smiles on the young Eastwood winger. Now Liner with that long cut-out pass. Normally the Australians bring in fullback Andrew Leeds, but it went straight out to Williams, a double cut-out. Madero was nonplussed by the speed and footwork of Williams, and he turned on the gas, put the accelerator pedal down, and there was no stopping him. Great try, Australia. Attempted conversion by Liner. This to make it 6-0 after only 5 minutes. It's there. When Australia last played Argentina at the SCG in 1986, they wrapped up the series winning that game by 26-0. And another line-out infringement by the Pumas, and Liner with a chance to send play up towards halfway. Very hot, steamy conditions, and that's a beautifully judged kick by Liner, and that one gaining about 50 metres. Now there's the hooker Andres Courage. He was part of that front row that destroyed Australia in 1983 at Ballymore. Up the back it goes to Milano. He got the touch. Picked up by Allen. Well, the Pumas playing inspired stuff here. They get the second phase ball. Porter. What a kick. Only 17 metres out from the Australian goal line. Well, an accurate throw, very crucial here for Tommy Lawton. Cutler's at 4. It's gone up to Miller at the back. Poitevin assists, but the Pumas have the drive and the scrum feed. Yes, the Argentinians certainly a very different proposition when at home. They disappointed in the World Cup series, failing to make the quarterfinals after a shock loss to Fiji. And somehow they scrambled that ball away. That's Cuesta Silva, the winger, number 14. It's going out along the backs now. Porter with an attempted drop goal. And that's Williams back there in defence for Australia. Now the referee has ruled that the ball was carried over. A 5-metre scrum. Argentina scrum holding well. Suarez Gache, number 9, picked up by Milano. Suarez Gache, but the referee's whistle has gone. Another scrum, right in front of the goalposts. Good shove by the Pumas. Camped on the Australian goal line. That's Allen. And he's held up only 1.5 metres out. Well, it certainly has been an early test for the Australian 8. Rodriguez at loose head, Mark Harthill, the Gordon prop at tight head, and Lawton, the Australian hooker. Cutler and Frawley in the second row. Number 8 is Steve Lidbury. Milano controlling at the back. They're moving it towards the centre of the goalposts. And that certainly was a near thing. They've still kept the ball alive. Offside Australia, a gift for Porter. Well, some incredible scrum pressure there from the Argentinian 8. And the error just had to come. So this will reduce the leeway to only 3 points. (6-3). Converted try to Australia by Ian Williams. Jeff Miller back inside to Poitevin. Smith clears. Liner. This is Matthew Burke. Good defence. And the pass going straight into touch. Australia now only 15 metres out. Well, Burke has had plenty of opportunities on tour. He scored a feast of tries. That's his first touch in this game. Now there's Alejandro Iachetti at number 2, the big blonde man. Branca jumping at 4. And a big two-handed catch by Iachetti. The referee says he was lifted. And Australia has a chance to go further ahead. Well, he's an absolute giant, Iachetti, but he had some assistance that time. 15 metres in. Relatively straightforward kick here for Michael Liner. And this to go back to a 6-point advantage. Australia in front by 9 points to 3. Jeff Miller, number 7 at the back. Garreton, number 6. Australia ruled offside. A couple are coming round prematurely. So too Rodriguez. Porter. Just a lovely follow through with that punt kick. And again the pressure transformed onto the Wallabies. Number 7 there is Jorge Allen. 4 is Branca. And Iachetti jumping at 3. Cutler got a hand to it. Rodriguez sweeps. Smith clears. Kick was charged down. Sloppy play by Australia. Suarez Gache, a long cutout. Tournez. Lovely work by Fabian Tournez. Diego Cash. Again, some inspired stuff here from the Pumas, but Australia have pilfered. Steve Cutler. That one's gone backwards. 5-metre scrum. Milano didn't control. Let off there for Australia. Williams' kick was charged down. But the Australian forwards in control. Argentina all offside there. And Suarez Gache just telling his forwards to maintain their composure. They had control and lost it. But certainly there's Rodolfo O'Reilly, the man who masterminded that great win over the Springboks in 1982. "15 metres out. Milano again doing well at the back. Iachetti, he's bowled over. Good tackle it was by Jeff Miller. And Australia going over the top. Possibly a little unfortunate there, as there was just a wall of gold jerseys and only 1 or 2 Puma forwards there. They couldn't take the strain. They collapsed. Australia came down with them, but the penalty has gone Argentina's way. Yes, just quite noticeable there that the Argentinians only committed a couple of forwards. And now Porter with a chance to further reduce the leeway. This to make it 9-6 Australia's way. One of the greatest goal kickers the game has ever seen. 2 penalty goals for Porter. Andrew leads just inside his 22. But still a good gain there for Argentina and Porter. That's the 10-metre line, and Serafin Dengra at the front opposed to Rodriguez. They were the front row partners for Argentina in Australia in 83, and the big cattle baron, Branca. Tapped down by Libri. Dengra. Rodriguez came through. He got a boot there from Suarez Gache. Jeff Miller didn't like it. Hoydovan comes in. And I think you saw that fairly clearly. Some of these Argentinians don't speak too much English, plenty of Spanish, but I think Tommy Lawton let go with a few choice Spanish words on that occasion. But it was the halfback Suarez Gache who put the boot into one of the Australians. It wasn't a malicious kick, but nevertheless it was a stomping act. Now the 2 captains are being called out here. Simon Hoydovan, who's leading the Wallabies on this tour of Argentina and South America. But certainly things getting a little out of hand there. And poetic justice, 10 metres from halfway. Australia ahead 9-6. Hasn't pleased the crowd, but that doesn't surprise. And one had to feel a little sorry there for Jeff Miller, because he had the numbers heavily against him, but stood up to his job manfully. And there's the Australian reserve bench. Lillicrap, Martin, Hawker, McBain, Nick Farr-Jones, and this is Courage. Iacchetti at the front. Porter. Ball charged down for Poitevin. Scurried away by Argentina, but how many tries has Poitevin scored in his career charging a kick down? Australia bouncing the pressure back on the Pumas. Dengra on this side opposed to Harthill. Suarez Gache got the kick in. Valuable metres gained. About 15 out from the goal line. It's Australia by 9 points to 6. But the Puma forwards certainly holding their own in this first half. Allen goes down on the loose ball. Smith couldn't pick it up. Well, a few of those Argentine forwards making no effort to stay on their feet. They got away with it. And Porter has taken play over the halfway line. When Australia played here in 1979 in the first test, they lost that game with a very good side, but bounced back in the second test to win 17-12. There are no Australian survivors out there from that game, but several in the Puma lineup. So coming up to half-time, Australia leading 9-6, and referee Mr. Lawrence blows it up. That's half-time. So a very stop-start first half. Australia holding on to a 3-point advantage, and oppressively hot conditions here at the Vélez Sarsfield Stadium. Liner. Driving end-over-end kick, and that one has found touch just a metre out from the corner post. So the Puma line out under heavy pressure here. Australia going in with the full complement. It looks as though Argentina only have 2 men in the line out, which is a rather surprising decision in this defensive situation. It's Iacchetti and Milano. Steve Cutler at the back for Australia. Courage. Cutler, try! Well, an amazing decision there by the Pumas. Cutler's superior height presented him with an open goal line, and Australia goes to a lead of 13 points to 6. Straight to Steve Cutler. He couldn't believe his luck. No trouble getting over the top of Iacchetti, and Cutler's 6th try in test matches. Important conversion attempt here for Michael Liner. This to give Australia a 9-point cushion. Beautiful strike of the ball. And Australia certainly with things in hand at the moment. But very hot here. The temperature now over 30 degrees. The Argentinians are very familiar with these sort of conditions. Australia certainly not. It's Porter to restart play. Harthill made his test debut against the All Blacks in 1986. Cutler slammed to the ground. Smith, loose pass to Liner. And again the Argentinian forwards coming through and applying pressure to the Australian inside backs. Suarez Gache combining well with Milano and so far. Porter, a switching play to Tournez, elusive runner, he got a boot to it. Here they go, short side. Mendy, the new cap, 3 metres out. Desperate defence there from Liner, Libri and also Williams. And again, good ball from the maul by the Argentinian forwards. Lawton having trouble hearing the signals. Relayed on by halfback Smith. Porter to Tournez. Line of the tackler. No advantage there to Argentina. They have the scrum feed. And their scrum rock solid. Porter, mishandling. Or was that Madero? This is Branca. Ball jolted clear. The crowd wants a try, but the referee says no. Clearly a knock forward. Libri to Smith. Back it goes to Leeds. And a hurried kick has taken play up towards the 22. Good effort by Leeds. He had 2 men scruffing around him as he cleared that ball. So it's Australia, unbeaten on this tour of South America, leading in this first international against Argentina by 15 points to 6. Iacchetti at the front. Cutler setting the ball up well. Porter, field goal. It looks good. A specialist with the pot, Hugo Porter, and Argentina closes to only 6 points. Here's Porter again in the fray. Lovely work. He's beaten 3 Australians who just held off, fell for the dummies. Liner didn't handle. He recovers well now though. Branca, the tackler. But the Argentinians had their tails up and some very sloppy work there from the Wallabies. Well, he may be slower in limb, but certainly not in mind, Hugo Porter. Delightful piece of work from him. Porter with a long cutout this time. Madero. Back it goes to Lofreda. He broke through the tackle. Papworth now takes him. Garrett on there, and Allen. Porter's kick straight up. Leeds comes in. Liner was in front of the man. But there was an Argentinian hand in there also, so Liner was then put onside. Australia's scrum feed. Or has it gone the other way? Knock forward ruled against the Australians. Porter attempting another one. Long range, 40 metres out. And that one well wide. Again, Milano, cleverly at the back of the scrum, going straight through the Australians. Very close to the goal line. Branco calls for the try, but the referee said no, there was a little knock on there. Now once the ball goes over the goal line here, they can dive on it. And he's called for another scrum, this time to Argentina. Australia carrying the ball over. Yes, the scrum finishes when the ball crosses the goal line. Australia's gone down. Porter. Brian Smith round his ankles. Allen slips it back. Lofreda. Tournes outside. Papworth comes through. This is Mendy. Here they go. There's an overlap. Tournes, very strong. Papworth wrapped him up just 5 metres out. And Australia holding on. Well, you could not believe this is the same Argentine side that played in the World Cup. The recall of Rodolfo O'Reilly, the veteran coach, has certainly provided the right tonic. He's picked a couple of old heads, but they're showing all of their experience here this afternoon. Brian Smith coming through. Milano wrapped up. Referees playing advantage here for Argentina. Suarez Gache. And let's see what happens here. The penalty's been awarded. Australia offside. Although he's signifying there that deliberately collapsing. So there might have been a bit of both. But again, excellent control from the Argentine scrum. And they really have put it all over the Australians. 15 points to 9. Porter with a chance to close the gap to 3 points here. Vital kick for Argentina. And that a poor effort. Punching that one wide. 6 points the difference Australia's way. Well, this soccer stadium only 2/3 full this afternoon. Madero. Well, the Australians hesitating. Lofreda. Support from Iachetti. Inspiring stuff from the big man. Porter. Lovely chip through. Leads there first. And he was punched to the ground there by Diego Cuesta Silva. Well, there seems little doubt at the moment that the Pumas are finishing very strongly. Jeff Miller. Well cleared by Smith. This is Stephen James. Lovely step off his right foot. And a beautiful kick taking play over the halfway line. Well, the Australian backs have seen very little ball in this game. Here's their chance once more. Liner. Miller kept the ball going. Papworth to James. Good pass now to Williams. Leeds. Last-ditch tackle. Desperate defence. Did he get it down? He did. His foot hit the line. The touch judge put his flag up. What's the referee's decision? Line out. Well, that's the best passage of play we've seen from the Australians. Good support and continuity. Jeff Miller did very well in that movement, but now they've spoiled it with some barging in the line-out. Porter takes full advantage. Look at that kick, taking play down to the Australian 22. And Ian Williams, a real danger man when in possession, almost scoring his second try. Brian Smith has been under a lot of pressure this afternoon. And concern in the Australian camp now. This is Simon Poitevin with Greg Craig. He's feeling his hand. And it looks as though Poitevin is leaving the field. And Steve Tyman to come on.
Michael. 25. Jeff Miller. Jeffrey.
So Australia a man down at the moment.
Wait a minute, wait.
Well won by Milano. "19 metres out from the goal line. Tournez, good tackle by Liner, ball and all. And he's pulled him 3 or 4 metres back. Slipped back by Lidbury. Papworth now following his kick. Well, the Australians very quick to turn defence into attack that time. And now only 15 metres out from the Pumas goal line. There's Steve Tyman coming on for his 26th Test match. And Perez, the hooker, sweeping at the front. And another mighty effort there by Porter. Midway 22 and halfway. So it's Australia still enjoying their 6-point advantage. Steve Tyman has been troubled by a back injury on tour. He sustained that injury prior to leaving Australian shores. Tournez. Landing that one just inside the touchline. Leeds recovers well. Madero, his opposite number. Well, that was deliberate obstruction against Jeff Miller. Silly penalty there by the Australians. The contact could have been avoided. Miller's pleading with the referee that it wasn't intentional. But now Porter out in front of the goalposts. This should be a straightforward one for him. Well, that's amazing. 2 straight misses by Porter. Had they been successful, Argentina could have been sharing the lead. Cuesta Silva. Normally a centre playing on the wing today. Brian Smith inside his 22. Madero. Not a bad kick. Brilliantly taken. Suarez Gache to Porter. He's used the high ball effectively. And the Pumas very hungry. Suarez Gache. Australia offside in desperation. May have been a bit of handling on the ground as well. So will it be third time proves it for Hugo Porter? He's wasting no time. But it does seem as though the Australians are feeling the stress from this extreme heat. And look at this take by Lofreda. And again, the Pumas winning the ball at the breakdown. Deep breaths all round. Stadium hard and fast. And this time Porter makes no mistake. A real soccer jab through the uprights. 15-12. Long drop out by Michael Liner, and there's a terrible mistake by Diego Cuesta Silva, just plopping the ball down in front of him, a knock on. And now Australia has a chance to consolidate here with this 3-point lead. Tyman's packed in at number 8. James mishandled by Leeds. James recovers. Offside ruled. Number 13 there is Lofreda. Porter. Solid tackle by Ledbury. That's the way to put the man on the ground. James with lovely handling to Liner. And the ball beats everyone over the touchline. Very physical game up front. Stage really set now for a tremendous climax in this game. Just 3 points the difference at the moment. Well, Miller was held back there. Ledbury flicked the pass outside. Frawley. Lawton there for Australia. And the Wallabies going forward for the scrum feed. 5 metres in from the touchline. Dengra and Harthill on this side in the front row. Steve Tyman at the back. Liner. Papworth. He's through. Brett Papworth. 8 metres out. Garrison came through the Australian ruck. Australia controlled it though. And several options available here in front of the goalposts. Eight metres out. Secondary shove by the Australians. Here's the opportunity. Stephen James. Liner coming through. Oh, what a try! He's there! Delightful kick from Stephen James. Liner following, took it on the fly and got it down just inside the dead ball line. 19-12 Australia. The crowd very quiet now. And Liner with a chance to put the Wallabies out of sight. Stephen James sizing up the situation so well. Saw the backs were up. Liner called for the kick and took it in baseball fashion. Yes, a real dive and slide here by Liner. And you can hear Alan Jones, the Australian coach, yelling out to his side, territory, go back for the kickoff. Played the ball down in Argentina's half. (19-12). We have nearly completed the playing time on the clock, but there have been quite a few stoppages for injuries. Liner's kick has missed on the left. And Liner really very upset with that one, because a 9-point lead for Australia would have put them in an unbeatable situation. Still, 7-point advantage for Australia. Big jump there by Milano. Dengra slips it back. Porter. And here it is again. Nasty one for Leeds. He took it well. Turner's the tackler. Miller was there. He got it to Papworth. Fast break by Papworth is spoilt. Porter goes back for it. Here's the attack from Madero. Great drive by the Puma forwards. Lidbury comes away. Gee, there's some tight boys out there at the moment. Suarez Gache again. He's done so well at halfback. Allen. Cuesta Silva now, and it's a try. Argentina has scored. The crowd has gone wild here at the Vélez Sarsfield Stadium, and the Pumas are still in it. Well, what a comeback by Argentina. They really have played with a lot of gusto and spirit in their second half. Quick hands. Allen seemed to fire that pass deliberately along the ground, and Cuesta Silva made no mistake. He scored a try at Ballymore in 1986 against Australia, and would you believe Porter has missed it. Well, the great man may well rue some of these missed kicks at goal. Had he put them through, who knows what might have happened. But both goal kickers are having their down moments. Liner also missing that conversion attempt of his own try. 19 points to 16. And their Liner following Coach Alan Jones's instructions, kicking the ball dead back to the 22. Well, one last thing from Argentina. We've had a lot of injury time. Referee Lawrence had another look at his watch. Cutler with two hands back. Argentina has spoilt. And again they secured a second phase ball. That's Allen. Back inside to Garaton. What a game he's had. Porter. Out they go now. Tornes to Lofreda. Cuesta Silva. Superb running from the right wing. But there's Matthew Burke for Australia, and Frawley. Tyneman was knocked over without the ball. Leeds looks for open ground and finds it. Well, this match still being played at a tremendous tempo. Australia reaching deep into their reserves of courage and stamina. And is that the full-time whistle? Cuesta Silva and Smith were shaking hands there, but this really was a marvellous sortie by the Pumas. Cuesta Silva stepping nicely, but Matthew Burke chiming in and saving the day for Australia. So the clock has stopped here. Greg Craig, the Australian physio, has had a busy day this afternoon. Topo Rodriguez calling the forwards in. Australia realising that a penalty goal or a try would loosen the game. A penalty goal would certainly level it. Mark Harthill's going to stay on the field. The Australians have had a crippling injury toll on this tour. In the midweek games, they've had to fill positions in a makeshift manner. Suarez Gache to Porter. Turnes, Lofreda, Madero. Smith couldn't pick up. It was a nasty bounce. Now it's Matthew Burke. And the whole of Argentina's pack arrives. They have the scrum feed. There's still hope for the Pumas. And what support they've had from the home crowd this afternoon. What are they going to do here? Suarez Gache just speaking to Porter. Will we see another high ball? Here it is. That one not gaining the ground he would have liked. It was tapped back by Tournez. Porter again. Long pass. Mendy follows. And was it a late tackle? Ian Williams can't believe it. Rodriguez, the offender. Now we'll have to have a look at that one again, because could the confrontation have been avoided? That was the key. Mendy kicked it. He ran straight into Rodriguez. He certainly made no effort to get out of his way. Hairline decision. It's gone Argentina's way, and they now have a chance to level the scores in the dying seconds of this first international. So the referee has awarded the penalty where the ball would have alighted after the kick. It's about 15 metres in from touch. So Porter, who's been something of a villain with his goal kicking, can now cover himself in glory. The whistle will surely go for full time after this kick. This one, a first ever draw between these two countries. And he's got it! What a finish! It certainly was, for Australia tries to Williams, Cutler and Liner. Liner 1 penalty goal and 2 conversions. And for Argentina, Cuesta Silva that late try. Porter 4 penalty goals and 1 field goal. Well, Australia probably still scratching their heads wondering how they didn't win that game after leading by 19 points to 12. Argentina scoring 7 points in injury time to force that draw. So the series is really set up for a wonderful climax now. And don't forget, on Sunday morning at 7 o'clock Eastern Summer Time, an exclusive satellite coverage from Buenos Aires with ABC Sport. Check your local program guides around Australia, but we do hope you can join us then for this great telecast from Argentina. See you then.